back to my YouTube channel. This Paris journey. Anyways, I'm getting started on a write-up because I'm a little behind on my web novel. Last month, I don't know, I was killing it in the game. I was dropping like a web novel per day. I took a little break because Christmas came up and Christmas break's over, so we're back on it. The last thing that I worked on for my web novel, well, for those who are new, my name is Paris SQ. I'm the author of the Archives of BFF, and which that is made up of like chapter books, graphic novels, and a web novel. Now I am on the web novel. The goal is like over 400 at least. It's so possible, like that's not a problem. The last one that I did, so these are all I have. So I have this one, which I recommend everyone to read. This one, this is in the this is before 2010. This is 2012. So I have nothing for 2010 and I have nothing for 2011, and then 2012, 13, 15, nothing for 16. 16 though is its own book. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be its own book, which for context, if you're trying to figure like, oh, what do each year means, just go to the eras page. This is all a link in the bio. And then this is 2017. I do not mind 2017. It's cool. It's like these are kind of these low-key won't make sense unless you read the first book. So yeah. Then 2018, and then 2019. I haven't done nothing for 2020, nothing for 2021, and then just one, which this takes place actually right before the first book. My last one I did was this one. This was I did this I think a couple of days ago, which I was kind of bad. But I did this one. This is a 2013 one, which actually takes place a week, as you can see. It takes place a week after this web novel. This is a spoiler, keep saying that right there. Which, by the way, the phone version looks, I try to make it just as similar as the desktop or iPad version or tablet version. So this one right here this one's a good one. Don't get me wrong, this eats, but like this one right here, it's a spoiler one. So I have a character. So those chapters is about leader lines, more specifically these guys, these two right here, Zan and Lisa. So, and that's them joining the group. So for context, if you click on the eras page, you can go down to, since we're talking 2013, boom, right here. That's what we're talking about. Right there. The January, let me see it. January 13th. That's what that entry is about. So you can just click on it and it takes you directly to it. Cause yeah. So this one's right after this right here, which again, it's a spoiler. I mean, if you want to read it, you can read it. I'm telling you this right now. She's a spoiler. Like, you will be so spoiled out of you. I mean, it will change your whole entire mindset about about everything if you read it. But if you want to, it's still there. I just had to write it to help the fella out. So this one is about Zan and Lisa moving into the house, because there's different eras. So each era is kind of different. So even though there's so many group members in the group switch, there's phases. So people come in different phases. So there's like the OGs, and then there's those who came in like halfway through, and then let me explain it. There's people who came in 2009, 2010, those folks, and then those are the auditions. That's when no one wants to join the group. Then there's the 2011 auditions. That's when everyone wanted to join the group. And then there's the 2012 hidden auditions, and that's when like they were just looking for like talent, like producers, not like a singer or a rapper or like a pretty face. They were looking for like people to work behind the scene. I'm gonna try to do a writing session. My only question is what should I write? That's like always my big question, like what should I write? And that's like the good thing about like my series personally. I don't have to start from like the beginning of the series. I can just hop in whenever I feel like it, because again, I know everything. I'm really not sure like where to even start I'm really not. Usually I'll like pray and I'll be like, okay God, what do you want me to write? And then I'll do and then the Lord will probably lead me to like a random Degrassi episode, which I have these. They're for research purpose. I don't think people even know these exist. Only a few people do. But I recently got the Degrassi books for Christmas. It's yeah. These are the Degrassi extra credit books, and they are super interesting to have. But yes, they're what I'm gonna be. So we'll see. We'll just go watch a random Degrassi episode. This is what I feel like the Lord's leading me to. Degrassi season 8 episode 4. No, I haven't seen every Degrassi episode, but like I stopped at season like 13. Even though I really want to finish like Claire and Claire, like her classes, and like Eli and Drew, like that whole storyline. As much as I want to finish it, I kind of don't care about the other characters. I trying to like the ones that go off to next class, but I don't care at all. I watched the episode. I don't know. It was about Liberty. One of the characters, she's like a really smart character, and she goes off to college. She's trying to like join some sorority, and then there was Holly J and her whole thing with boys. So what do I get out of that? I have no idea. But we're gonna I think I'm just gonna do like a fit in, like a chapter about fitting in. So what I'm gonna do is, from that episode, is I am going to fill in the blank. So I'm gonna do a web novel episode that goes in between, essentially, which is gonna be about the group, about the different units, and like just everyone kind of getting along after this major event. I would consider this chapter to be one of those, like, I wouldn't say season finale kind of episodes if you were like to put into like a season, but it'd be one of those. So, and this is before this chapter, which this chapter is about the bro codes, or the group code, or BFF code, is that's what they call it. That's pretty much about when people in the group start dating each other. So it's like literally right before it, and I'm gonna have it take place in March, and then it'll lead up to this one. Well, I am back. I had yesterday's video did not go as planned for a multitude of reasons. I got stuck braiding hair for about 15 hours doing Bora Bora braids, which they ended up coming out as not goddess braids, but bohemian braids. So that was fun. Watched way too many episodes of the Hotkeys, and yeah, we're gonna finish this writing session. It's only gonna take me like an hour, but we're gonna just go ahead and write it. Okay, I'm back, and I had got more stuff done. And so I mentioned yesterday, or earlier in the video, that that the Lord led me to watch a Degrassi episode. I think I had the idea yesterday what I was going to write, and then what I wrote today was completely different. That doesn't mean that what I was going to write yesterday was not going to get ever produced. I don't know, I just ended up writing something completely different, but I did kind of go back and add a little bit of it. So what I wrote today, which ended up being 1,200 words, let me show you, 1,200 words, is this right here. Look, all of this, it's kind of draft, like you can kind of see, like, you know, I clearly have a problem spelling Spanish. I think I keep spelling Spanish. That's last step is like editing it before I have to transfer it to the website. But it's very funny because like writing this whole thing was, very interesting. So like, and this is the beauty about writing a web novel, is that you can kind of talk about literally anything you want to talk about. So one thing that I noticed about this chapter that I wrote, or this novel entry, is about the events that happened at the Battle of the Bands. Like literally, like, I don't know, a few days later. Let me check. See, I like my website because it helps me more than it helps anyone else, like when it comes to writing, because I can just refer back to it and be like, where does this fit? But right here, so there's this chapter, right, and then there's that chapter, so it happens right in the middle of this. It's a good gauger of like, or a good way for me to like tell, but it takes place right after it, and the chapter is essentially about the whole aftermath of the fight that happened. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's kind of common knowledge that about the base story of that chapter from the first book and the second book, but it's kind of just what happens after that. And Rapline, the first month of like Rapline being its own unit versus it being with JV guys, so that's what that chapter is about. And shoot, I didn't even change this. So this is entry number 22. Yeah. So yeah, so it's pretty much about that, and then so you know how it's right before the May chapter, 2012, or 2012, yeah. And about the whole thing where people were kind of coming out saying, oh, we're dating, or oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, and but it was a known rule that it was to no dating. So it's kind of like in between that, and this chapter is mainly about, and I guess to tie it into like some kind of message or theme with Christ, because this is a Christian theme, faith-based kind of story. Like the mix of priorities, honestly, that's like what this chapter is really about. Just too many different priorities. You got like 3 different problems here. The first one being that consequences have actions. So Rapline especially is dealing with the consequences of, you know, with the events that happened in the chapter prior, with the fight that happened on live television. So it starts off with that, and then halfway through it's like talking about their consequences that they now have to deal with, as far as it from like a career standpoint, they're bared with a whole bunch more responsibilities. Yes, there's like the other deeper thing about their relationship with their manager that they have to deal with, and then there's the other consequence of where it's just that some of them, their minds are elsewhere. Like they're worried, because they're known as the pretty boys of the group. They're also here, like there's a lot of the other members in the group who are like, you know, flirting or giving them all these attention and whatnot. So it's that as well. So there's all these different things that just their priorities are just so out of place. So it's like some of the members are like, why in the world are you considering going on a date? Like that's the last thing you should be thinking about right now. Like, why do you want to go and hang out with so and so? We need to get these stuff done, and or a lot of people don't even like us in the group. Why do you want to make it worse? So that's what this chapter is kind of about. I mean, there's no like, again, it's a web novel, so like when you read at least my series, there's no like solution at the end. Again, they're also just explaining. So keep in mind, these are archives, so there's an interview so the interviewer is reading these archives, and then each member or one of the members will explain it from their perspective. Obviously it's all written in the point of view of third person, so it's Valen, right? That's the one who's really writing the story, who's writing the archives, but it's from the perspective of, so the writing style is third person, but in the interviews they're giving their own like 2 cents of like how they felt or what that really was in detail. So this is done. It's not a huge, like a very long story. Again, it's 1,200 words. Nothing too crazy. And again, we changed the title, so it's right here. It's that now. pretty bad problems, aftermath of the Battle of the Bands. So yeah, good gauger. It's fine. I'm not like tripping too much over it. But that's what we have going. Now we gotta do the fun part with my battery. It's at 36%, but we gotta draw now on this giant iPad. Oh, I have some of it printed out. It's so faded. It's on the web. Like, these pictures are on the website. But yes, now that's the next thing that we have to do. So we have to now draw and get the cover art, the easiest one in my opinion, and I need to get the entry art. You'll know what I'm talking about. So I just finished all of the drawing. It was actually not that. I personally don't think it was nothing crazy, because like there's some artworks that you know, but yes, I did that. I also, so that's finished. Now we have to edit. So I transferred everything from Campfire to Reedsy, REEDSY.com. I transferred everything over, and I like using this software because one, it's free, and two, it makes it look, it converts into book format. Now when I first started writing, I used to just like copy everything into Grammarly and edit through there, and then I would use Speechify for it to read to me. But now I don't use that anymore because one, it's like, I think I was spending like $160 in total, because Speechify was like over $100 for like a yearly, and then Grammarly was $60 for 3 months, and so that was getting a little too much. So but I now have an idea of like how to edit stories. I mean, I got a college degree, so that should be one of the things that so if I have a college degree, therefore I should know how to like at least edit like 1,000 words, hopefully. I mean, I wrote plenty of pages before and how to read it. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. It shouldn't even take me long. Honestly, this wasn't really long, a really long web novel thing. Like the process of it wasn't really complicated, because usually I spend like, I don't know, I think I spend like 3 hours. I'll spend like 2 to 3 hours sometimes on an artwork, but this one was actually really easy. I think it's because I didn't do something like this. I didn't draw something like that, which is a little bit more complicated. That this I think this is like a 3-hour draw compared to what I did, which was this, a little more abstract. But I just drew the 5 eyes, like the 5 members of Rapline and their eyes. So I just drew that. I do need to change the bottom part. I need to change the title of it to this chapter's thing, which I'll just copy and paste before I transfer everything to the website. But yes, I want to go edit this really quickly, and then we're going to get this uploaded to the website. Okay, well that's the video. I got all of it done. This was actually, for me, a very quick video. Or not quick video, but a quick process. Getting this web novel out because I didn't do a complicated cover art. So that's it, but that's really the journey. If you want to read the story or read some of the other stories, link in the bio at archivesbff.com, and make sure you subscribe so you can see more. There is a newsletter, like, oh, you can put your email in, but there's no newsletter. Like, I'm not gonna be doing emails just yet. It's complicated, but when that does get up and running, you can. For now, we're just collecting emails so that when there is a newsletter that can be sent out, you'll be notified. But that will be on the website as well if you want to donate, so that these can stay free to read, free to consume by anyone, as long as they got some internet access. Then be sure to go to the supports and updates tab and donate whatever you feel led. You can do monthly payments, monthly donations like Patreon. It's just whatever you feel led to do. If you want to donate $1, that's cool. If you want to do 20, that's awesome. Just whatever you feel led to do, that's going to be on the supports and updates. I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and I hope that if you have any suggestions or any ideas, or any like, oh, I want to hear more about this character, or you saw something in the eras tab about like, oh, I want to know more about that particular storyline, comment that in the comment section, and then we'll get those out. I'd love to hear feedback from you guys, and yeah, hope you enjoy and share with a friend. And yeah, that's all for today though. Make sure you repent, accept Lord Jesus your Lord and Savior. Yeah. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, bye.